if you're not marketing your business, nobody's going to be able to find you, right? We've covered this a bunch of times before in some posts and some other videos and things like that, but I really just want to emphasize this and double down on it for you guys. The biggest thing that will move your business ahead, get you to a point where you can bring on team, expand the store, bring on employees and things like that to take some of the workload off of your own back, is going to be bringing in more new customers on a regular basis. If you guys are not consistently bringing in new customers, you are leaving the door open for other people to steal those customers from you and to then build them into long-term customers of their own, which is going to make it harder for you to actually get those customers back or get them in the first place. So what are the keys to this, right? The biggest things are, I think most business owners in general, regardless of whether you're a chef or regardless of whether you do lawns or whatever, most people tend to be more of an operator. And what I mean by that is many of you guys are gun people because you like guns. You're not necessarily business owners because you like business. You're business owners out of necessity because in order to make money from the gun stuff that you like to do, you've started a business. Now, what this can do is this can put you in a situation where you want to focus on the things that you like to do, right? Like working on guns, buying equipment, building guns, things like that. And then maybe a little bit of the sales stuff, right? Because you like to talk to people about guns. Now, the thing that most business owners leave out is the part where you actually have to run the business, right? You have to actually be a business owner. You actually have to operate the business in a way that makes the business money so that you can then expand the business. You can hire employees, you can take more home on each paycheck and things like that. And so with that being the actual main focus that many of you should be focused on, one of the things that I would suggest that I think would be really helpful for most of you, and this is like something that I do personally that really helps me, is get yourself like a kitchen timer. I have like this little round one. It looks like a hockey puck from Amazon, and use your calendar, right? And so typically what I do is I'll set aside some time throughout the day to where I have maybe 1-2 hour block or whatever to actually do some marketing stuff. And I'll literally sit down and I'll take that kitchen timer and I'll spin it to like 35 minutes, 45 minutes, 55 minutes, or an hour and 5 or whatever. For whatever reason, those are like the ones that I usually typically select, right? It doesn't matter what time period you put, but give yourself a time limit and sit down and do the marketing and only do that, right? If you guys aren't marketing, that means that most likely not enough people are finding you on a regular basis. And what's crazy to me is that most of you that I talk to, I would say 10 out of 10, right? So I'll go ahead and say most of you, but I'll also back this up with 10 out of 10 people that I talk to, you're not necessarily happy with the level that the business is at, in a sense that like you continuously want to grow. So you might be making some good money right now, you might not or whatever, but everybody that I talk to, and I take anywhere from 10 to 20 phone calls per week on average, every single person that I talk to on the phone says, I would like to make more money. Now, what that says to me is a couple things. It says, one, that you guys actually have the passion to grow the business, which is great. But the other thing that it tells me is that 2, you're not marketing enough. And 3, you're most likely not running the business as a business per se, versus running the business as something that's a necessity attached to something that you like to do. And so this is something where changing your mindset and the way that you actually frame and look at this process can completely change the way that you actually operate everything for the positive, right? To actually bring you to a place where you can build this into a legit business. So I'm not going to get too deep into that stuff any more than I have in this video, but the key takeaways that I want you guys to really think about are: sit down and ask yourself, am I operating this business as kind of a side gig for fun because I like guns? Or am I operating this business as a fucking business because I need to make money? And this is also stuff that I like to do. So you can have the best of both worlds, but you need to dedicate and focus to actually running this as a business. And one of the biggest things that's going to be tied to that is doing marketing and sales, regardless of what you guys sell, regardless of whether you guys do training, regardless of whether you have arrange a brick and mortar store, regardless of whether you're doing online sales only, drop shipping from home, or whatever it is. If you guys aren't marketing this properly, you're most likely not reaching enough people. And if you're not reaching enough people, the problem with that is you're not achieving the results that you're after. And if you're not achieving the results that you're after, then you're most likely unhappy with the current state of the business. And what that's going to do is just kind of lead you down this deep, dark hole of continuously changing and optimizing and doing stuff, but never doing the stuff that actually matters enough to actually make the results come that you're after. Okay? So hopefully that makes sense. Now, the last thing here is, this is all stuff that we do. Like, we help clients with. We've got over 130, 140 clients currently. And we're just continuously in the process of helping guys like you, girls like you, do this exact thing, right? So why I mentioned that is, if you need help, reach out. Drop me a DM, comment below, or whatever. Other than that, sit down and figure out what you want this to be and what that looks like. And then dedicate your time and energy to doing it. Whether that's using the resources like the kitchen timer and the calendar and stuff like that, or whatever else might work for you. But what I can guarantee is that if you're not doing this stuff, it's going to come back and it's going to bite you. And it's going to bite you hard, right? This is a situation where the majority of FFLs go out of business, particularly brick and mortars, right? Because most people that are home-based, they don't have a lot of risk involved. Most FFLs go out of business within 3 to 5 years. Most of them probably don't even last that long, right? I don't want that to be you, which is why I do this content. So hopefully this is helpful. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.